know I've been talking about South Carolina a lot lately, and talking about Malaysia Fulwiley, talking about Ti'Niya Latson, talking about what's been popping off at that program. Obviously, a successful year by the means of most people, but maybe not to the folks in Columbia, South Carolina, and Gamecock land. Do they consider it to be successful? I would say going to the national championship is a very successful season after you won the national championship last year, and your team definitely wasn't at the level it was last year. Even the year before, you're in the Final Four. I mean, South Carolina is an elite program in the nation and has already made a big move in the signing or commitment of Ti'Niya Latson, the nation's leading scorer, filling a hole that is desperately needed to be filled with having a player who can really fill up the basket. And that is something that Latson brings to Dawn Staley's roster. But when you look at what is missing for South Carolina, the difference between last year and this year, the difference is size. And I know people want to sit and say Ashlyn Watkins wasn't there. Ashlyn Watkins was a 6'3", is a 6'3" power forward. She averaged 7.6 rebounds. Could she have made a difference for them this season? Maybe. They won 30. I mean, they were what, 36-4 or something like that. I'm not looking at the record. They had an exceptional record. Would they have beaten UConn? In my opinion, the answer is still no. It's still no. That said, let's talk about what they need, what Dawn Staley must bring in my opinion. My opinion. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way, Women's Basketball. We talk facts over feelings. Please be sure to like, subscribe, follow, hit the bell, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the video. I appreciate your back and forth with me. I will respond to comments as they come. Um, some I can't get to. I mean, I can be responding to comments all day, but I do appreciate the banter and the commentary in the chat. Let's talk about. So I talked about it briefly in another video I did on South Carolina yesterday, or was it today? I've lost track, honestly. There's so many things going on in the transfer portal. You try to keep up and pop out as much information as humanly possible for people, since most folks are not reading the web, don't read the websites and newspapers and stuff like that. And, videos typically can get to you more quickly. But let's talk about who are options for South Carolina and who I think is probably the best option of the options that are available to South Carolina. And you're starting off here with Madina Okot. She is listed as the number 23 overall player in the portal. She went to Mississippi State this past year. She is 6'6", so definitely brings size that they desperately need. She averaged 11.3 points, 9.6 rebounds. She shot 65% from the field. And she did all this work in 22.6 minutes per game. Mississippi State advanced to the Sweet 16. No, I'm sorry. Was it Sweet 16? No, they advanced, to the second round. They beat Cal in the first round. She had 14 points, 13 rebounds, shot 50% from the field. And then they played USC and got the doors beaten off of them by 37. That was the unfortunate game in which Juju Watkins was injured and blew out her knee in that game. She had 8.6 rebounds. She shot 57% from the field in that game, but they got blown out of the water. She is a junior. She played at Z-Tech University. This is in Kenya. So I guess they count that against her collegiate appearances. So she is a junior. She has a 6'10" wingspan. She's 10'3" on approach and height, running vertical height. I mean, she's big. She's a big girl. And what you have here is someone who has the experience from the SEC. She has the experience of playing physical ball. Mississippi State was 22-12. I wonder if this means that she can have 2 years of eligibility or if she only has one. I'm not sure because all the rules that happened in COVID, she wasn't here during COVID, so I don't know if she is eligible for having an extra year of ball after this year as a graduate student. Um, but that would be a huge pickup for them because she is an experienced SEC player. Well, the second player I was going to talk about was Rashaya Kyle out of the University of Florida, who averaged 14 points per game and almost 9 rebounds, scored double figures in 34 of 37 games for the Florida Gators. But when I was just doing a little bit of research, trying to pull up some information while I'm doing this video, guess what? She's already got a commitment. She committed to Miami. Big pickup for Miami. So that is an option that is no longer on the table for Don Staley. That leaves one final option, in my opinion, and from what I've seen from articles, is the addition of Oyin Damola Akin Bolawa out of Auburn. She's a junior. She's a junior. She only averaged 3.5 points per game, but again, a big player physically. She played. She's 6'5" out of Nigeria. Um, Not huge numbers by any means of the imagination, but she is a big body, and they need a big body. Like it's just that simple. She played 29 games, started 15 games. Um, so she's another option. She has SEC experience, obviously. Uh, the reality is this: they need a big. They got to get a big, and to me, the big that they need to be looking at really hard is Madina Okot. That is the player that they got to bring in now that Rashaya Kyle is off the board. Rashaya Kyle probably would have been my number one selection for them, but with Okot, you have a tough big, averages 10 rebounds a game, shot 65% from the field. It's the person that's going to put the ball in the hoop around the rim. Going to give you some reminders of Camila Cardoso, which would be a huge get, especially now that you got a guard out there and Ti'Niya Latson who can put the ball in the basket. So this is what I think that Dawson needs to be making a point to do. I mean, maybe she's doing it, maybe she's not, but this would be a huge pickup for South Carolina to bring Madina Okot in. Um, if there are other players out there, let me know who they are. Let me know your thoughts. Appreciate your comments. Like, subscribe, follow, hit that bell. This is Rudy's Rant, her game, her way, women's basketball. Come on now.